Hey, what is up, KX crew? Today we're going to talk about the new Eminem album. No, I'm not becoming a music review channel. I just wanted to talk about one particular song, one particular verse. I've talked about Eminem before on this channel in terms of is he a good role model or not, because he was a bit of a motivational figure for me in high school and still to this day. But anyway, the subject of this video is what you saw in the title. He talks about this in the third verse of the song Road Rage. You can look up the lyrics. Um, he goes after this whole idea, fat phobia, fat shaming, um, pro body, health at any size, this whole push to just let. I'm sorry if I'm going to use a word that triggers somebody, but this is a health and fitness channel. Um, just let fat people be fat. Let them just do their thing. It's fine. It's totally okay. That doesn't mean that they're bad people, right? But it just goes too far in that direction where they start to make claims or they say they're equally healthy. It's not their fault. So they don't take responsibility for their actions. They just blame everything on genetics, etc. So Eminem goes after this because it is an issue in today's society. I actually think that this issue, the pendulum is starting to swing in the other direction, because that's kind of how these big controversial subjects come up in society. The pendulum swings against or for it super hard, and people get tired of that. People want a different opinion. They want a fresh take. The pendulum swings the other way, and now people are against that thing, or now they're for that thing, or whatever. That's just how controversial subjects are, for the most part. Not always, but anyway. In this verse, he uses a line like, "It's easier to," what does he say? Instead of exercise, it's easier to find a triple X your size. you know, um, so I have talked about kind of this subject before, but kind of the other side of it, where I don't think that fat shaming is super helpful. I think that people who are very overweight, myself, I've battled fat my whole life. My whole life. I will probably continue to battle it. It is something that is always at my door, and I just always have to keep it shut. I always have to be disciplined. I always have to be on it, or my weight just comes like that, right? So people who have been overweight, are overweight, have been beyond overweight. Shame is something that you're already carrying. So being shamed further, I don't think is the solution, right? So I've kind of talked about it from that angle. Like, people need encouragement, they need motivation. So Eminem's kind of going after this issue, saying things like, he talks about how the society as a whole, when you just like praise them and be like, yes, just you're beautiful, and you're beautiful being fat, whatever. I think it's different when you're just respecting somebody versus when you're enabling a disease, right? Because that's what obesity is. So he uses that word enabling, right? Because the people who are associating with very overweight people, or people who are having issues, right? Um, let's say it's your partner or your significant other, right? And you can see that they're struggling, but you're doing nothing to help them. You know, like, they're maybe sad about their weight, they have a bad day. You give them a bowl of ice cream because you know they love ice cream. That's enabling, right? It's probably a bad example. I'm really trying to not be disrespectful, because I think that there is a difference between respecting everybody, because everyone's on a different journey. You never know what people are going through in their life. But at the same time, and Eminem talks about this, we're not being honest, right? We're not. Somewhere along the way, it became taboo to be honest. It became, you would be shamed, you would be canceled, like in other cultures. Like, I've personal trained people that were from China, right? And he showed me like a message from his mom, or the last time he went to go visit, and they just said that, hey, you got fatter since the last time I saw you. Like, in different cultures, they point blanket. They're like, wow, you got fat. And it's not such a sensitive, delicate issue like it is here. It's just a very matter of fact. Because yeah, it sucks, right? The truth hurts. And no one wants to get point blank like that. I don't think you should point blank anybody like that, right? But I don't think that it should be such a taboo and forbidden subject, right? I think that's there's a difference between kind of that everyday struggle. Everyone's got a few extra pounds. I could squeeze some fat on me here too, right? Like, there's the everyday struggle of the every man, every woman, right? I'm talking more a little bit past that. When you really have when you have an addiction to unhealthy foods, you have an addiction to overeating, when it becomes a psychological or mental thing and you're in a habit, you need someone to help you break that routine. Like, you need a personal trainer or someone to just kind of shake you loose and set you on the right path. Not just say, yes, you are healthy, slay, whatever else the kids say these days. Yeah, I'm 29. Anyway, Eminem also talks about, like I talked about point blanking. He point blanks how the health risks that are associated with it, and it really, your body does not care what your perception is on it. It is what it is. If you're gonna carry all this extra weight, it's gonna be hard on your joints. You might have knees that hurt, right? It's challenging your heart, because the bigger you get, the further your blood vessels get stretched around that fat, the harder your heart has to work, right? So that heart disease is very real. So people who are very overweight and say that they're just as healthy, you're kidding yourself. It's impossible. It's biologically, scientifically impossible that you are in the same shape, because you are carrying all that extra weight and it is a burden on your body. So I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit because it was cool to see him talk about this. He really tackled a lot of interesting issues in society, and it was kind of, I wasn't expecting it. And I kind of wanted to talk about it because something like that might get just perceived as like, oh, you're going against fat people, you hate fat people, whatever. I think that there's some truth to it. Obviously, he's Eminem, so there's going to be some bite to it. There's going to be a punchy in the face feeling about it. But I think that there was a lot of truth in there. Yeah, the song is called Road Rage. It's a pretty intense song. If you're not a fan of, Eminem. Anyway, I think I'll wrap the video up there. Just to kind of tie it all together, I don't think that we should fat shame. I think that we should encourage and motivate. I don't think the topic of being overweight, battling weight, even on the other side of it, people who are trying to gain weight, I don't know when and where it became such a taboo subject, but I think that it is a very real thing that everybody deals with. Every human being on this earth would probably like the scale to be a little different, right? It's pretty rare that anyone is like, yes, I am happy at this weight. So I'll wrap the video up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, if you have any topics you want me to talk about, please let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Claw 6 out.